Assalamu alaikum. My name is Maruf, and I'm author of, as you can see, 7 Steps to Success in Deen Dunya. The reason why we are recording these videos and sharing with you is that recently I have decided to write another book, and most probably it's going to be called Right Hand Book. You may think the name is strange. I understand. I will get back to that in a moment. But let me give you a bit background story why we are doing all we are doing. So, alhamdulillah, about 2 years ago, I published a book because it's based on like 7 to 10 years of experience working with a lot of Muslim entrepreneurs. And I wanted to put it into like step by step, and also wanted to create want to write a book where majority of people right now, when they deal with the businesses, they only focus on the money and the business side, but they forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the process. So the book, what it does is that they bring Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala into your business, and so it becomes your part of ibadah, part of serving as well. However, since I launched the book, I talked to, alhamdulillah, a few entrepreneurs. They came and we began to have like a weekly sessions. Alhamdulillah, along the way, when we talk to people, entrepreneurs, professionals, Muslim entrepreneurs, you begin to learn every week. So based on that, one thing I learned was that just steps were great, but one thing I didn't take into account is that as a human being, we are multifaceted beings. We are not just about business, right? We have our social lives, we have our mindset, we have all of this stuff. While I mentioned some part of it in the introduction of the book, but the more I was teaching, more I was sharing, more I was learning from them, it became apparent to me that we need to address that. Inshallah, that's the goal. We want to create a holistic approach. When I'm saying holistic approach, as a Muslim entrepreneur or Muslim professional or Muslim student or any walks of life, a Muslim seeker, you are not just only one dimension, right? So inshallah, with this book, Right Hand Book, we want to include the overall structure. And it's not something just based on what I figure out. It's actually based on Islamic psychology, and a lot of scholars did a lot of work. And just my thing is just learning from them and presenting them to you. So what does it mean? It means that we will be talking about as a human being as a whole. When I say human being, I mean the body, the physicality, and then we talk about the mind. I'm not talking about the brain, but mind, which represents thoughts. And then also we want to talk about the heart. And the heart is not the body that's like working as a pump in your body, but it's a spiritual heart, which represents emotions. And another one we discuss is called the soul, ruh, and which represents spirituality. So this will be our foundation. This is what we're going to talk about. You're going to figure out what our beliefs are, where we stand, and what our goals are. And this is where we're going to start. But later on, and we will include some of the learnings from the book as well, we'll bring out the purpose, our purpose in life. And then we'll talk about passion, which things you're good at, which things you like. And then we'll talk about the path. So once you know your purpose and passion, you have to take a path. What I mean is your path, right? And then it could be entrepreneur, it could be employee, or you can take your career. And the next step is we're going to talk about the prosperity that we all want. A lot of people want that, I think, in life. They just talk about the money. But in Islam, we talk about prosperity, we talk about barakah, right? It's not just about the money, but how to use that money properly. And the last but not the least, we talk about the peace, and the peace of heart, peace of mind, peace of soul, and the peace of body, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about nafs al-mutma'inna, the soul at peace. So this is how it works in this short videos. And one of the questions I really want to address is that why have I not included in the book? And the answer is that, as I said, I learned afterwards, number one. Number two, when we're talking about these things, some of the things I wasn't practicing myself. And without practicing, telling somebody something, it will be hypocritical. I don't want to do that. But alhamdulillah, since then I've been practicing some of the rules, and which reminds me of one of the stories. The story goes that everybody knows Mahatma Gandhi. It seems that one of the stories, one of the followers of Gandhi, lady, brings her son and asks advice for Mr. Gandhi. Say, please, can you advise my son? He's eating too much sugar, right? And Gandhi says, can you please come in 2 weeks with your son, ma'am? And she just kind of, surprised and said, okay, I mean, what can you say? Like, Okay, and she goes back and with her son and come back in 2 weeks. And then she explains the same thing, and this time Gandhi just stands up and goes to the boy and says, son, sugar is not good, this, do not eat it. And the woman asks, thank you so much, but let me ask a question. Why didn't you tell the same thing for 2 weeks? I waited 2 weeks, I have to come back and this and that. Can you tell me? And the Gandhi says, very interesting thing. He says, ma'am, 2 weeks ago, I myself was eating sugar, right? How could I, if I myself was doing it, can I not to do the same to the boy? The moral of the story is that the things I'm sharing in the book, I'm doing my best to practice them. And if I wasn't practicing, I would not be able to tell you, right? This is one of the reasons why we didn't include in the book. And then now we are going to do that, inshallah. And later on, based on these things, based on the findings, we'll actually launch the book as well. So coming back to the book itself and the naming, it may sound a bit weird or strange, right-hand book. You can read it as like a right-hand book or wrong-hand book, or you can also read it as a right-hand book. The book is in your right hand. And I think the inspiration comes from the Quran when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about that a person who got his book of deeds in his right hand. I'm sure you can look up the Quran and it talks about, and that person is full of joy, happy. And the reason is that that person, it symbolizes is that he was accepted. His deeds was accepted, and that he did good deeds. It was a good thing, right? So the inspiration comes from that verse, that thing. But the question is, as Muslims, alhamdulillah, we are blessed to be in that community and going towards that goal. But how many times do we really sit down and think about, okay, what will be written in the book? Have you ever thought about it? So how can we expect that the book will be good if you don't plan for that, right? So the whole purpose of the short series videos is that to help you to build a foundation, to write your down goals and your whys, your beliefs, and how you're going to get there. And sometimes people ask me that, do these plans work? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Not the way you think. But maybe plans will not work exactly the way you want, but what's really important is the planning itself. So when you're planning, what does it really represent is that it's a relationship between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what you're saying is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I believe in that promise you did. It is going to happen. Oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, please make me one of them. And what I'm going to do my best effort to plan for that, which represents sincerity and intention from our end. And we do our best. And it's possible, most likely, we all will fail. At some point, it will not work because we are not perfect. But the thing is, we have the plan, we have the planning, and we keep going at it. That is something Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala appreciates. And there's another verse in the Quran, if I remember correctly, if Quran or Hadith that says the actions, most beloved actions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala must consist even their small ones. This is where we're going to go work on these things. So one more thing I want to mention is that the way the structure it works is not just you listening to the things that say, oh, good, and move on, but it's more like a workbook, right? Hopefully, inshallah, we also provide you a workbook. We can download it and fill it up. The way it works is that in each category we're going to go through, we're going to ask 4 questions. Before I will tell you what these are, I want to tell another story why these questions are important. These are not just any random questions, but these are based on my experience and by learning human psychology and marketing under Tony Robbins for many years, and then B.G. Fogg, and learning habits of humans. And after implementing a lot of habits myself, I came and I figured out these questions. These are so crucial. The first question we're going to ask in each category is that, what are your beliefs? For example, if you talk about the body, what do you think about your body? What are your thoughts? What are your beliefs? The next question is going to be, what are your goals? What do you want to achieve in this category? For example, in your body, what do you want to achieve? We want to remove all your self-limiting beliefs, but we want to be, imagine Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, okay, my servant, wish what you want, ask what you want, you can get it. What will be your goals, right? It could be your money, it could be your finance, it could be your emotions and all of stuff. And the next one is that, third question is, about why do you want it? Why do you want that goal? Is it to get rich? Is it to do this or that, or to seek pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Or, and then at the same time, I want you to really come up with the understanding is that what happens if you get it and what happens if you don't, right? Because as this is how the human psychology works, that, and then we need to commit for the win, we need to commit what happens if you don't live up to that thing, whatever we promised and how it works. And the last but not the least question is that how you want to get there. What are the strategies you want to go down and that. So in each category, we want you guys to write down those things. Right now, we don't ask you to take action, just write it down. Maybe later on, we will introduce different types of courses that help you in each category, based on what you want to do that. But for now, in the short videos, we want to tackle. So inshallah, by the end of this short series, you will have your foundation skills, body, mind, heart, soul, and purpose, passion, your path and prosperity and peace, all of these things pieced together. We believe, inshallah, if you do it properly, this could be, remember the book, right-hand book. It's not the book, we're writing that book, but what we are doing is that we are outlining that book. And that book is already started writing. If you guys want or not, as a Muslim, we believe that every day we live is like a one page from that book, right? So let this day be that you take control in your hands. You're willingly going to take action instead of just, it's like taking a journey. Imagine you want to go somewhere. Right now, actually, I drove like probably 40, 50 kilometers. Imagine I didn't know the address. I get the GPS, and then I type it out in my GPS and I followed the thing. Imagine if I just got out from my house and say, okay, I'm going to go to the studio. I have no idea how to get there if I just keep driving. It's least likely I will end up here. Instead, I did the planning, I put in GPS and followed. And as you will see, inshallah, as we deep dive in this is exactly what we're gonna do. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. We're gonna talk about the human body. Until I see you, Assalamu alaikum.